And your big judge.
To the honor na.
Mr. Dennis Marbella.
Hi, good evening. My question is, a Senate bill on comprehensive sexuality education was opposed by religious groups for allegedly contradicting Christian and Islamic teaching. How would you reconcile faith-based values with the need for inclusive gender education? Would you like me to repeat the question?
Yes, please. And can you please make it louder so that children are too loud?
Okay. A Senate bill on comprehensive sexuality education was opposed by religious groups for allegedly contradicting Christian and Islamic teachings. How would you reconcile faith-based values with the need for inclusive gender education?
Thank you very much. The question is very nice simply because it talks about something that we wish to happen, something that we hope that could potentially happen in the future, because if that law will be permitted in our country, it would eventually benefit us as a members of the LGBTQ community. And I think, I also understand these religious groups for disagreeing or opposing to the proposed bills because they have something that they are following. They have their faith, they have the Bible, they have, the references of what they wish to follow, and they would want to align in terms of their faith. However, if we are going to talk about the needs right now, we should also separate the rules of God and the rules of people. It's very important that we understand that we have our needs as people, and that needs can be given by the law that we have here in our land. And if ever that it will be not permitted by the rules that we have by God or by the Bible, I think that's something that we should be considering, because we should be continuing our faith, but that faith should not be hindering us to live our life the way we would want it to be, and we shouldn't be hindering ourselves to live the life that we would want in terms of expressing who we truly are. It's important that we understand that the needs of the people is something that we should be looking after, not just the faith that we have, because we have a different faith, we have different religion, but the religion shouldn't be the basis of what you should be as a person, because the real belief in God is not based on how you carry yourself, but it's on how you go by respecting God. Being an LGBT member or moving through or accepting that law does not mean that you are not believing God, because true belief in God is in our heart. Thank you.
Once again, thank you so much. Baby number 2.
Thank you so much. And before we continue, pasuyo naman doon, mga nachi, yung mga bagets, mga anak, mamaya na kayo maglaro. Kaninong mga anak yan? Saglit muna, nakaka-bother ko kasi. Pasaway muna sa mga bata. Mga anak, tulog na muna. Hindi kasi crucial tong part na to. Mamaya na mga bagets, sa bahay nyo kayo maglaro, okay? Let's start number 4. Ayan, maraming salamat po. Kailangan namin sawayin kasi gawin na crucial to part na to. Hello, candidate number 4. Are you ready to grab the mic? You have a lovely gown, fully hand-beaded, and your judge is?
I pick Honorable Judge Ashley Cruz.
Hi, candidate number 4. How are you feeling today?
I feel a bit pumped up, kahit po medyo late na. Perhaps it's a mixed emotion of being excited to know the results and being excited to travel again for another 5 to 6 hours para bumalik.
That's good to hear. So here's my question. A Senate bill on comprehensive sexuality education was opposed by religious groups for allegedly contradicting Christian teachings. How would you reconcile? It was already question. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm about to say my answer is same as candidate number 3 po. Shut up.
Okay.
Active listening daw po at
Although this is like a great question.
okay lang.
So yeah, the Philippine Commission on Women recently launched gender-responsive assessment tools for schools. How can religious institutions support gender equality in education without compromising their doctrines? Would you like me to repeat the question?
Yes, please, ma'am.
Okay. So the Philippine Commission on Women recently launched gender-responsive assessment tools for schools. How can religious institutions support gender equality in education without compromising their doctrines?
Thank you for that question. As a graduate of a Roman Catholic school where I was actually raised from first year until 4th year, I believe that the greatest teaching of God is what we call the commandment of love. And I believe that if we will stick to that commandment, which is love, that already comes with the word what we call respect. Now, going back to the instruments that are being proposed by the Philippine Commission of Women, I believe that these tools will be vital for each and every institution if we will allow each and every person to be who they want to be without disrespecting and going beyond the lines of each and everyone's religion. Hanggat alam mo bilang tao kung hanggang saan ang kailangan mong gawin, nang hindi ka nakakatapak ng kahit anong reliyon, nang hindi ka nakakabastos ng kahit anong reliyon, then you can be who you want to be. And I believe that this should be pushed through. It's about high time for the Philippines for them to recognize na napakadaming tao ang nabubuli sa school. I believe that if we will allow young transgenders to wear what they're comfortable with, for them to have the length of hair that they want to be with, it doesn't affect their performance. It doesn't affect their dignity as a person. And it doesn't affect the integrity and morality of each and every religious beliefs. And so, I would highly recommend, and I would push you, na ang pagpapatupad ng mga ganitong bagay hindi para tapakan at para bastusin ang kahit anong doktrina at kahit anong reliyon. But boss, ito lamang ay nagiging instrumento upang mailabas ng totoo ng isang tao ang kanyang kakayahan into its maximum potential. Wherein I believe we are all on the same page for that. Thank you.
Right, thank you so much once again. That is Billy Bailey, number 4.
I should say, who made the questions? Pang 25,000 na. Okay, let's have now candidate number 5, the very classic Casey Pakulan. So wow, that gown.
Alibasa ikaw inayman, talaga na pagdating sa QAE, hindi ka rin mapapakabot at hindi ka rin mapapahuli.
Maraming magagaling na. Do the honor na? Okay.
Alright, I picked Honorable Teng Tirados.
Hello, Ms. Cassie.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. This is my question. What lesson can we learn from the recent corruption scandals in flood control projects? And how can we prevent similar issues in the future? I will repeat my question. What lesson can we learn from the recent corruption scandals in flood control projects? And how can we prevent similar issues in the future?
Alright, thank you very much for the very mind-boggling question. That's timely, honestly speaking. Well, the Philippines is no stranger to storms, but honestly, the greater storm we face is not from the sky. It is from corruption that bleeds our nation dry. You know, billions of pesos have been poured into flood control projects, yet every year we are submerged not in, not in floodwaters, but in shame. Why? Because funds meant for drainage has been drained in the pockets of the corrupt politicians. And as far as the lessons that we can take in this scenario, we should be united and we should not be silent. We should speak, we should voice out, and we should work together in unity. Because at the end, we should not treat corruption as norms. Kasi sabi ng Pangulo, parang nagiging normal na ang pagiging corrupt ng mga nakaupo sa Pilipinas. Di dapat natin itong payagan. And again, we should never, ever be silent. As I've said earlier, we should work together in unity. So what we need to do, we should demand. We should demand transparency, accountability, and most importantly, justice. And to resolve this, I hope that the Philippine government might do something like capital punishment for those corrupt individuals, if they are proven guilty, of course. Dahil kapag ipinatupad ang kamatayan sa batas natin, I don't think na may mamumura pa. Dahil lahat yan matatapos. Magandang gabi.
Right, thank you so much once again, Miss Pakula, that's been baking number 5.
5 pa lang yan. Okay, now this time we may call candidate number 6.